The president, the VP, the attorney general, a bunch of other immigration officials are meeting with lawmakers and state law enforcement. And it comes a week after this moment when President Trump flew out to California to check out border wall prototypes in San Diego, and not too long after the Trump administration sued California over its immigration policy. So Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will be in that White House meeting this afternoon. He is here with me on set. Back with me also the Washington Post's Ashley Parker and the AP's Josh Letterman. Thank you for being here, Attorney General. What is your message to the president today? So
first of all, thank you for what you're doing. I mean, immigration enforcement has been important to my state for a long time. This president...
It's been controversial in your state for a while, too.
Yeah, but we've had issues for years. We've tracked all of our crimes related to immigration, illegal immigration. There's no doubt we've had a higher murder rate. We've had all kinds of crimes committed by illegals over the last 5 years. So it's important to my state that there is border security.
Crime committed by undocumented immigrants and by others as well, obviously.
Yeah, but we specifically track undocumented workers, illegals, and their crimes. We've had over 1,200 homicides. We've had thousands of other crimes committed, over 600,000 crimes over the last 6 years.
What is the response? The Major Cities Chiefs Police Association has raised some real concerns about policies like the ones in your state, saying that by local police enforcing the federal immigration policy, it undermines trust and cooperation with these immigrant communities, and that they just don't have the resources here. Aren't those legitimate concerns?
So no, because that's not what the bill does. The bill doesn't require that they actually ask about immigration status. It just gives them the ability to do so. Also, there's a specific exemption for witnesses of crime or victims of crime. They can't be asked about immigration status. So we've specifically addressed that in the bill.
The bill has come under serious criticism from groups like United We Dream, for example. Advocates of immigrants who say this is simply racist, that this is simply a way to discriminate against people of color and immigrants inside the state of Texas.
Sure, I'd love for them to actually read the bill, because the bill is pretty...
They would say that they have read it, as I'm sure you know.
Look, so it's very simple. This deals with the illegals who have committed crimes, and it requires that law enforcement in our state and officials, elected officials, cooperate with the federal government. So all we're talking about here is the criminal element. So why any taxpayer, why anybody would be concerned about deporting people who have committed crimes is really a mystery to me.
How do you respond to the criticism from those who say focusing on these kinds of crimes is scaremongering?
Well, I mean, these are horrible crimes. This is we're talking about murders, we're talking about thefts, we're talking about sexual assault. That's the job of law enforcement, is to prevent that, or if it happens, to arrest and then deport.
I want to bring in the folks who are sitting just next to you here, Ashley and Josh,
Sure.
because I know that they cover the White House, they cover everything happening to this administration, and the president's crackdown on immigration has been an area where he has made, and the Attorney General Jeff Sessions at the DOJ, serious policy changes in a way that you haven't seen everywhere inside the administration. Ashley.
That's true. The president on the whole is not particularly ideological, as we all know, but there's a few key issues that he sort of feels on a raw, visceral gut level that he's been talking about for decades. One of them is trade, and the other, of course, is immigration. And so on immigration, you see he has a little wiggle room and sort of a little mixed emotions on the question of DACA and Dreamers and what to do. But when it comes to supporting law enforcement and getting tough on border security and interior security and stuff like defunding sanctuary cities, he is very much with his base. This is where he's always been, and he's pushing policies in that direction.
It's also a mobilizing factor for those on the other side of the aisle than Attorney General Paxton here, Josh, for Democrats, for immigration advocates who say this is wrong and we need to fight this.
It's true, and as we get closer and closer to these midterm elections in November, you can see how this issue just gets subsumed by the politics. It's a huge motivating factor for Democrats, for liberals to get their base out there, clearly messaging very strongly on this issue. Republicans doing the same thing, and what you'll hear from the immigration groups is that the kind of proposals like this, even if they're just about rule of law, they equate immigrants who are here legally with criminals in a way that they feel is prejudiced.
Attorney General, while I have you here, I have to ask you about something else that is happening in your
Sure.
state, back home, actually near your home in Austin. These terrifying serial bombings there. There was a fifth one overnight near San Antonio. Can you talk through whether you believe and whether you know, is that connected to what we've seen in Austin? What are
So look, we don't know for sure, but we're obviously pretty sure that they are connected. Okay. And I'm very certain that as we've had more and more of these, that we've got more and more information. I believe we are going to catch this person.
Do you want to communicate with this person? What is the message to this suspect here? Do you have any guidance on who this person is? I know you can't share everything, but do you at least have a sense that you're zeroing in?
Yeah, as you know, it's an ongoing investigation. I can't comment on everything, but I do know that Austin PD, our police department, has asked that the person call in and talk to him. So I know that they're seeking to communicate in some way.
What's your message to people in Texas who are completely freaked out about this random violence that they have no control over?
Well, I certainly understand it, but I tell them to go on and live their lives normally and just to pay attention to their surroundings, make sure that they're aware of things going on around them, including packages and backpacks or anything like it.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, thank you for being here.